Hey there, everybody. My name is Lee. I am a longtime trained fanatic, nerd, geek, whatever you want to call it. Quite proud of the hobby. Really helps me relax, collect my nerves, think clearly, get ready for my week. So this is my in-scale layout. A little bit of history on it. I first started designing it about 15 years ago. I was working in community mental health. I'm a licensed therapist, counselor. When I was driving to and from my clients, I like to think about the track plan and what structures and what I wanted it to look like, the theme, and it was a fun exercise, but got tired of thinking and wanted to actually do it. So willed it into existence about a year after that. What you see before you, I've done a little bit of work on it recently. I made some real progress, but the majority of this was done in that first year. And then I just got so busy with life. It went into storage. I moved. This thing sat in storage for about 10, 11 years. So I recently, with my new home, installed a very nice studio workshop in the backyard. It's about 400 square feet, and instantly knew I wanted to get back into the hobby. So got this back out. Considered a new layout, but I had done so much work on this. I just wanted to see it come to completion. It's a really good track plan, especially for me. I'll get into more of that later. But yeah, I had to do a little bit of work to get the track back on track. A little bit of rail zip and track cleaning, and here we are. Some of my engines are running a little bit worse for their wear. You might hear a few squeaks here and there, and I think that's that GP38. It needs a good oiling and a good cleaning, so I've got everything out to do that soon. Basically this is the first module that I had designed. Really like it. It's very compact. I do like a lot of detail. I like a lot of action in a small space. That may change. I've got some plans for some more open, landscapes. But I really like a lot going on and a lot of detail in a layout. I do have to say I love in-scale because of the breadth of landscape that you can capture in a small amount of space. And I've always loved anything that's miniature, small. So I first, naturally gravitated towards in-scale. I got to be honest though, I'm starting to develop a love of O-scale just because it really captures the sound and the mechanics of the actual trains. It's less emphasis on scenery than it is the trains themselves, and just those mechanical noises, and it's really calling to me lately. So on down the road, I may have an O-scale layout in this same 400 square foot space. But anyway, so this is the first module. I first built it up using a wood frame that's about 1/4 inch trim wood put over a large piece of oak. The whole thing, this whole module, is only 40 by 29. I've got two main lines there, an overlapped loop on the inside, and just a regular oval on the outside. I really love the bridges that the MP15 is going over now. That's a Faller kit. Very reminiscent of areas where I grew up. So I should say off the top that I'm really big into the Southern Railway. I grew up in Marion, North Carolina, and the Southern ran through it. I have very good memories of watching the old tuxedo locomotives and the red Southern cabooses go through the middle of town, and standing there, watching them come through, and just those big locomotives just like, shaking my insides, just making my heart skip. It was a thrill, as it is for most kids. So I am a die-hard collector of Southern in-scale livery and locomotives. So I've got a little bit of a sampling here of a lot of my Southern stuff. So Southern is big for me. I'm starting to collect Southern in the O scale as well. But I look high and low for Southern stuff. Just to get technical, what's running here is that's GP38 coming around. I believe it's a GP38-2. It needs oiling, as I said, but it's a beautiful Atlas locomotive. And then coming up on the other side there, about to go over the bridge, that's an MP15, which has just some amazing pulling power. I've really been impressed with how much it can pull. You'll see a lot of gondolas. I have a coal industry plan for this small module. I'll explain a little bit more how it will expand in the future, but for now, I'm making this a freestanding module, although you'll see some sidings where things are going to start to move about. So anyway, let me get back to the construction. So I used a 1/4 inch wood from Lowe's over a large piece of oak. Secured those with screws and a few nails. Just painted it flat black. And then inside of that, I used 1-inch foam to build it up, foam core. And then I used a lot of Woodland Scenics products. They're great. Foam elevations really helped me get the inside overlaid loop going. That was pretty tricky. At the time, I was not experienced with Kato Unitrack. I do still love the old Atlas track and love laying it. It's just what the hobby was all about. And for such a custom track design, sticking with the Atlas really lent itself well to what I wanted to do custom. So it was quite laborious getting this all up and perfected, and really working on the track so I get few to little derailments or issues. I've gone through all the track, soldered it all, so it's pretty rock solid right now. You can see that, I don't know if you can see, let me check I don't think you can see the yard that goes underneath the two bridges on the right. So there's a yard there. It climbs up where the MP15 is now. And right there at the edge of the bridge on the right, I'll pan in on this in a minute, there is a siding that starts there that makes a pretty steep grade up to the coal mine that's up there on the right. I just moved it up a little bit so you can see it. So it goes up, the siding goes up and around, and starts and goes over that trestle bridge, which I absolutely love. That's the old Helljam kit, which I started not to use, but it is such a wonderful old in-scale standard. It's been around for a long time. I painted it up nice, put some of the old flow quill on there from back in the day, and it's got a really nice look to it. And I like it because it's a solid model, but it's also sort of an homage to an earlier kit. So anyway, the train will go over the bridge there, and then we'll move into the coal mine up top. I'll show it to you in a minute, but that is a Walters coal mine kit. I'm drawing a blank on I think it's the New River coal mining. That is a custom build for me. I initially built it the way it was designed. It was so large that it was just going to dwarf the layout. So I decided to do a custom build that I'd seen online. It turned out rather well, but I was a little obsessive, to be honest. I've built it twice. I think this one is a little bit more rough than the other one, but I've got it up there now just as I'm planning and working on the layout. And pardon the mess of everything. I've tried to clean everything up as best I can. I get real sloppy when I work. Sloppiness is meaningless in the face of creativity. So I tend to get really messy. There's hydrocal all over the floor and bits of foam and everything. I'm sure all modelers understand what that's all about. So, yep. I am running a Digitrax system. It is the basic unit. I may get an upgrade, but for now, this unit works really nice for me. I definitely wanted to go for DCC just for the control and having multiple trains at once without going control cab. Although I do love having the controls, those DPDT switches all over the place. It just makes operation a little bit more fun, but DCC just makes things so much more simple. On down the line, I may do other projects with a command control or a cab control layout, but for now I'm sticking with DCC. The extra money is, in my opinion, worth it. So yeah. Looking into the layout here, I'm using some unconventional turnout controls. I'm using what are known as oh gosh, I'm going to draw a blank on the name. They'll come to me in a minute, but yeah, they are an incredible product that I absolutely really love. They use a plastic sheath with a sort of a Teflon inside with a steel cable, and the mechanisms drag the cable through the Teflon sheath, and you can actually operate turnouts with it, and I absolutely adore this method. Just remembered, hump yard purveyances. So they're modeled on the old hump yard purveyances, which were you've probably seen them in like old train videos or pictures, but they were a large steel lever with handles on them, and back in the day in large yards, the yardmaster would be up in an office full of these levers, and that was how the switches were controlled remotely. So some genius modeler who I need to look up online manufactured these about 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. I've looked all over the internet and I'm not seeing them anymore, so I'm realizing I'm lucky. I only had a case of 6, and here I have used 4, and it'll soon be 5, so I'll only be using 5 of those. But yeah, let me see if I can use the tripod here and go over and take you into the purveyances. There they are. It's a bit dark in here, but those are the levers that you manipulate to get your turnouts working. So yeah, I'll probably do another video on down the line to sort of demonstrate how those work. But I'm super happy with them. They're a lot of fun. A little bit difficult to install. You really have to do a lot of trial and error with, especially with gluing them down and getting them, sort of stable so that you don't pull the wire too much or pull the sheath too much. I usually glue them down into I usually make a groove in the foam and glue them down into the foam. Maybe I'll show you that in a minute. So, but yeah, I'm looking at, so I'll have the coal mine up there on the left. And actually, let me grab the tripod, and please excuse my multimedia production here. I'm just getting started with this, so not real experienced, although I'm extremely technically experienced with computers, but I've just never done video, so this is my first go-around. I'll be getting a new phone soon, and I'm using my old iPhone 6. So let me just take you in closer here to everything. I'll try to keep the camera as steady as I can. So here we are with those 2 bridges, the MP15 going underneath. Let me raise up a little bit so you can see. There's the yard. I really wanted to keep the yard more straight, but because I'm so limited on space, I wanted to just sort of let each branch go its own direction so as to maximize the storage that I've got in such a small area. So that's going to be the small yard. Several of my switches are really just left manual because they're right next to my operating space. So everything here on the front of the layout I still have the spring action, so I can just reach everything. So everything here is manual. But two of the turnouts inside of the yard there use the hump yard purveyances. I have another one up there at the top of the trestle, and that is to either go down towards the coal mine, or if I hit the switch, it'll go back up into this little sort of industrial area that I have. I've got some really nice kits back there. I may do separate videos reviewing those. You may recognize that's a modified, I believe it's a furniture factory kit from Walters. I just love it. It's got the, you know, the bay underneath it where a boxcar or any car can dock. And then that's I believe it's a Blair line kit. Let me see if I can move in a little bit closer to it without messing with the trains. So it's a warehouse kit, and I really like how it came out. And I'll try to get you better shots of that on down the line. I don't want to mess with any of the trains that are currently running. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of an industrial area up in there. This is kind of going to be more of a town layout here over here on the right. You can see an old DPM building that I did back in the day, which I'm considering using. I've also got a lot of kits that I should talk about, and we'll probably do separate videos on those, but I really love the work that Model Tech Studios is doing. They've been in business now for, oh man, I would bet 10 or 15 years. I could be wrong. I need to check their website, but I believe it's, if you'll just Google Model Tech Studios, they have some incredible kits. Really love them. So I'm going to be using multiple Model Tech Studios buildings on my layout. So let me get you in a little bit closer here for the bridge. And you can see back there before it gets closed up. Well, dang it. I think that's about as close as I'm going to get without making a big, huge mess. So, but there's the old Helljan bridge kit, which I absolutely love. And there's the Walters kit that I was discussing. I'm just getting started working with pigments to get my tunnel openings. Losing my language here. My tunnel openings, just like I like them, but I've got a good, what they call the leopard method going, and I'm real happy with the way that that's coming out. So, one more thing down here. You may see the wires coming out. That's going to be where I have two of these LED rocker switches, so that I can turn all the buildings on and off, and the other one will probably be used for more of the lighting in the yards. So I'm thinking of having one switch for buildings, and then another switch for yard lighting, and for perhaps street lighting. I really love a model railroad at night, and I'm really looking forward to having a city that lights up. But right now I'm carefully trying to strike a balance of sort of urban presence versus rural. I've actually come to a conclusion that I want everything on the left to be just more sort of wilderness, rock castings, really heavy tree bed. I come from the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina, and just know the beauty of that up there, and want to do a bit of a tribute to that. So I'll be using a couple of methods that I'll be hopefully making videos of soon. So yeah, no, I'm going to leave this at about 20 minutes for now, but this is just an introduction to what I'm doing here, and to give you just a glimpse of the future. So this module will eventually be on the left. I'm using an L-shaped office desk for my bench work. So this will be on the left and will be under the pull-out shelf, which would usually host a computer keyboard, but it's where I'm going to have my DCC unit and my turnout controls. And then over on the longer left part of the L-shaped desk will be a large yard. So I'm taking a lot of risk. I'm stacking track on top of track and making multiple levels. Like for instance, I mean, I view this this module as kind of 3 levels. You've got where the train is right now on the bottom, which is the main oval. And then you've got the MP15 starting its way up to the next level, where it will go over the double bridges from the Faller kits. And then the 3rd level, I consider that that coal industry. So the MP15 is right now coming up where that siding will start up and work its way around all the way up to the bridge, and then over to the coal mine. So anyway, the other part of the L-shaped desk, and I know it's hard to picture this, but it'll come to light as I do future videos. But it'll be sort of 3 levels as well. The base level, where the oval is right now, will have the main line. The 2nd level will be a yard, a rather large yard that I had planned that I think will be about, I'd say about 5 feet, maybe 6 feet in length. And then we'll drop back down and then join the main line on the ground floor, so to speak. Jutting out from that yard will be a lot of industry, a lot of sidings. There will also be some other sidings around. But then that 3rd layer will be actually only accessible from the upper right quadrant of this module. So where you see that industrial siding coming up off of the timber bridge there, that will extend on out to the right. And that will be sort of more mountainous territory that will be suspended over the yard. And that will be going out over some rather dramatic girder bridges with mountain scenery, and will eventually find its way into sort of a logging industry. There will be, I'll probably have a lumber yard on the layout somewhere, and probably a paper mill, which is a little bit of an homage to Canton, North Carolina, which was about an hour and a half from where I grew up. It's up around Asheville, and it's known for its paper industry. And man, when you were there, can you smell it? But everybody there that lives and works there just gets used to it, and it's a beautiful rocky area. It's very dramatic scenery. Some beautiful rail fanning to be done up in that area. I'm telling you, if you've never been to the North Carolina mountains, there are some dramatic things up there, especially as far as the railroad. A lot of history of how that railroad was built, and a lot of lives lost. Very dramatic, but a very beautiful and scenic railway that I treasure seeing. So I encourage you to look into that railway. So yeah, you're getting a look at some of my southern cars going around. Each one of them also has a beautiful red southern caboose. I've been on the search for really good red southern cabooses like I remember from my childhood. You may hear the train in the background. So I bought a house that's very near the train track in Durham, North Carolina, and the train was one of the reasons I chose the house, because I can hear that train 4 or 5 times a day, and it just warms my heart. So you can still hear it back there a little bit. So anyway, so yeah, it's Blue Ford Shops made these fantastic cabooses. I'll do more of a detailed review of those probably in the future, but these are absolutely gorgeous models. They were expensive, but I didn't care. They are just beautifully done. So, and I know it might be frustrating for me not to get close-up glimpses of the trains and everything, but I'm going to learn how to do that soon enough. So I apologize for the zoomed out video today, but I just wanted to get started because I'm going to be making progress on the layout and wanted to capture it before it all gets covered up and painted and looking exactly like I want it to look. So I'll do one more quick scan in case anybody has any questions from left to right here. There's that rocker switch, and that's right down there where the switches will be, and there's the hump yard purveyances. The yellow things sticking out are some of the sheaths where I've got it threaded through underneath the foam core. You can see they come up right there in the middle. You can see the yellow. Those are the sheaths where I've had them glued down into the foam. So to really get stability in those hump yard purveyance installations, you've got to make sure that those sheaths are nicely sort of hugged by something, just to get sort of an anchor. So there's those. But pan up into up there where the coal mine will be, and I also didn't let you know the scenery here is going to be very dramatic. I mean, it's going to go very high, rocks, very precarious scenery, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I've been practicing a lot of my hydrocal skills, and yeah, the fascia will be really, really high here so as to support everything that I'm going to do. Dramatic rocks coming up from behind the bridge. You can get a glimpse in there of sort of, the inner workings. I'm going to have several hatches in case I need to rescue trains. But I feel like I've got everything working so smoothly that I don't think I'll have many derailments behind the scenes. So I tried to design it where the likelihood of that happening was very low. I've got 3 or 4 re-railers on that main line back there just to make sure everything stays on track. So that really, really helps. So you zoom in here. There is that hump yard purveyance connecting to that switch, and then that switch will lead out into this area here. So yeah, so actually I just noticed I tipped the train as I was doing that. Here comes the MP15. So let me sign off for now before there is a catastrophe. But MP15 will eventually get into a mess there. So actually let me reach over and cut off okay, I just cut the track power. So the trains are no longer running. So let me continue the tour though, just before I finish off. So right there is going to be that industrial siding with that amazing kit. I love that Blair Line kit. So and right in here is right around here is where that next portal will be. Right about where that Norfolk Western boxcar is where the train will disappear into another portal. Suspended over this right here will be sort of some town scenery. One of those Model Tech studio kits, I believe, will be right here and featured very nicely. That's a beautiful kit. I can't wait to show everybody. So yeah, I'm hoping you're getting at least a feel of the layout and everything. So, and again, this thing is very small, 40 by 29. This module is, but I'm very excited to get going on it. So. And I apologize, the light is a little bit dark. It's getting dark here, and it was light earlier, but I've been doing a lot. So, okay, well, signing off. I look forward to more updates. Feel free to post any questions. I don't even know what the name of my channel will be yet, so I'll try to get that up and running soon, but all subscriptions are most appreciated. And yeah, I'll be talking more about other YouTube folks who have really inspired me. So thank you, everybody. It's been really neat to watch everybody's work, and I really would like to get into the community some. So if you'll have me, I appreciate it. So take care of everybody, and be well, and happy railroading. And I will update soon. Thank you.